All right, so it's 11 a.m. sharp. So I think that we can slowly but surely start. So hello everyone and welcome to our onboarding webinar to Capacity for Dev. And first of all, I will share my screen because I see that many people are just about to be connected. So to actually allow them some time to connect, we will start with a networking session because Capacity for Dev is mainly about our community, about the development professionals. And it's always a really great opportunity to know what other people are up for, what their projects are, or what are other development resources that they are about to share on our platform, for example. So how does it work? You simply just unmute yourself and introduce yourself. So, for example, first you can start with your name. So, my name is Marie Zametsnikova. Then you will say your position. So, I'm the community manager of Capacity for Dev. So, your first contact when you, for example, don't know how to use the platform. And then the third can be what do you expect from this webinar, or your country where you are currently on the mission, or even where you are currently based. So, for example, for me, I expect from this webinar to provide effective support to our users, such as you, and I'm currently based in Belgium. So now I would like to give floor to you to have a chance to actually introduce yourself to our community. I see that currently there are around 45 people actually in this webinar. That's great. So who would like to start with the networking and with introducing themselves to our community? I see that, yes, I already see that some people raise their hand. I don't see the first name, so I will try to actually say the second name, which is Trismepioti. Georgia. Yeah, now I see your first name.
Yeah, Georgia. So good morning, everyone. My name is Georgia Trespiotti. I'm a team leader for a regional team leader for the EU program support to public service media in Western Balkans, and I am based in Greece, in Athens. So my expectation from this meeting is just to explore new opportunities for networking and learning something new. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you very much telling us about your focus being the Western Balkan and also being from Greece. So it's great to see people from around Europe. So thank you for sharing. And the next one is Anastasia.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anastasia Perdereau. I'm currently based in Paris, France, but my company, NER, New Energy Advancement Hub, we're established in Cyprus. So we are currently doing the research on energy transition of Cyprus as an island energy system. And generally, we provide a research and e-learning in the field of energy transition. So I'm here to create new connections and to do networking and to know how it works. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And it's actually perfect that we started with this networking so you can also know each other a bit better, what is the community on our platform and with whom you can then interact. So thank you for sharing. And the next one is Francisco.
Hi everybody. I'm Francisco Maciel. I'm currently the country correspondent for Brazil and for the climate dialogues, EU climate dialogues. It's great to be here. I want to connect with you and to explore a little bit more about Capacity for Dev, and that's it. Nice to be here.
Thank you very much. And we will definitely explore it more from the function perspective and features and what you can actually more get into the climate, because you said that you are focusing on the climate change dialogue, climate dialogue. So we will also dive into how to search, for example, based on the different topics on our platform. And the next one is Charlotte.
Hello, everybody. I'm Charlotte Griffiths. I'm Communications Officer at the International Centre for Migration Policy Development, working on a project called the EU Global Diaspora Facility. And we support diaspora civil society organisations and partner countries in countries of heritage on diaspora engagement for development. Looking forward to seeing how we can use capacity for development, both for learning and sharing our own learning materials. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And you have a really nice accent. Can I ask you, where are you from?
The UK originally, but now based in Brussels as well.
Great. Thank you very much for sharing. And the next one is Erminia.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I'm Erminia Jodice. I'm calling from Vienna. I'm a project associate working for the International Atomic Energy Agency, and I'm here today with you to explore the capabilities of the platform and, of course, to network with all of you. And thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much for connecting, and really nice to meet. Thank you. And the next one is Sen Abidin.
Yes, perfectly said. Good morning, all. I'm quite new in DG Input. Just started 1 month ago in C4 here in Brussels, where I will be involved in level 1 procedure mainly, and I will be in charge of Vietnam, Philippines, and Indonesia. And my purpose today is, yes, like all of you, networking, but also try to see what this platform can bring me and to get in as soon as possible. Voilà.
Thank you very much. And indeed, like within 1 hour, we will be covering all of the essentials. So you will be able to use it as soon as possible. And just also to tell you some perk about it, that Capacity for Dev is the DG International Partnerships platform. So it's great that also people like who start just in this DG, they are also coming to our onboarding to learn more about this platform and how to use it the best. So the next one, I see that there are two women in one screen. Anne Emmanuel.
Yes, thank you very much. Emma for short, Emma Grassi, and
Lieke Ossenbloek.
Indeed, there's 2 of us from NAFIC, which is the Dutch Agency for the Internationalization of Education. And we work on education program for development. And we're more and more involved with EU programs because NAFIC has been pillar assessed. So we're very eager to learn more. I've had a first experience with the platform, learning more about Global Gateway and Team Europe approach. And so we're looking forward to connecting and having access to more resources. We're based in The Hague. I think that's it. I don't know. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much for sharing. And indeed, we will be also covering the resources like Team Europe Initiative results and indicators, which you can find on our platform. And also now we have a new feature that also our users, they can now establish their own resource on Capacity for Dev, which is currently new. And I will be speaking about it, why it's new and what we were up for the last year and also this year. So thank you for sharing. The next one is Volodymyr.
Hello, everybody. Very pleasure to be here. Thank you, Maria, for opportunities to introduce myself. I am from Ukraine. Now I live in Germany, most after a place for work. I am former digital development expert, World Bank Global Digital Development Practice. Now I work in European Union project. Currently, project satellite connectivity Central Asia rural area. This very innovative technology for connect rural area and not cover area. I am passionate in digital development. I like digital. It is my passion. Thank you for opportunities to introduce myself.
Thank you very much, Volodymyr, and welcome to our community of Capacity for Dev. I think that you will definitely find something around the digital, or you can actually become also one of the person who will be the group owner or administrator, for example, of the group focusing on digital if you are that passionate about, and you can build on our platform your small community as well. So thank you so much for sharing and for being here with us
I
today.
addition also I focus twin digital and green transition. Now it is together, very effective.
Very interesting, and thank you for sharing. So the next one is Durga.
Hi everyone, my name is Durga Karki. I work as a program officer for International IDEA based out of Kathmandu. It's a co-creation project between the European Union delegation in Nepal and International IDEA Nepal office. I accidentally discovered this platform. I was not looking for this, so I do not know what to expect exactly, but I am off for anything that you provide me with. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and thank you for being honest that accidentally, that's also great. I will also then launch some polls throughout our webinar, so there will be also options for you to actually select where did you find out us, because this is also very important for us to know if it's by search or if some of your colleagues told you. So thank you very much for sharing, and I hope that this will bring you the value, even though it was just accidental. Thank you. And the next one is Mezadri San.
Mezzadri Sandra, you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, good morning, everyone. So I'm a senior advisor for the company Oritain, who's an SME, a scientific and business organization, and we are specialized in scientific isotopic testing to verify origin of goods and raw materials. And I as well ended up a bit by chance on your platform, as the precedent person said, because we are very much interested in the deforestation, implementation support. And while looking at the multi-stakeholder platform on deforestation, there was a link to your Capacity for Dev webinar. So this is why I'm here today, to understand the link between the two environments. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for sharing. And definitely the deforestation group is also one of very interesting spaces on Capacity for Dev. So we can also dive deeper into this, what is it about. So this is what we wanted to show you at the beginning. It's actually our community. So all of the content that is on Capacity for Dev is actually made by 80% from the 80% by our community and 20% by our editorial team, who is sharing the lessons learned from the field with cooperation with units, for example, from European Commission, etc. However, it's mainly about you, about our community. And I think that this was amazing welcome that we could see the community in practice and who are actually our users. So let me then jump directly to why we are all here. And it's actually the onboarding of the Capacity for Dev platform. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody who were actually joining while we were having this short networking. And my name is Marie Zametsnikova, and I am the Capacity for Dev community manager. So your first point of contact when you don't know how to use the platform, or if you have any questions regarding the platform or the technical issues, etc. And today we will be speaking about, for example, what is Capacity for Dev? Because some of you, for example, accidentally found Capacity for Dev. Some of you heard about it from the colleagues, but doesn't really know what is it about or how to use it as soon as possible. We will also talk about who can use the platform, because from the brief networking, you could hear that people are coming really from the diverse fields, and they are coming also from, for example, the EU institutions, from academia, from international organizations, etc. Then we will be covering the features that are available for you, because we just went through the big revamp of the whole platform. So it was during 2023. So there are many new functions and many new features. So in case that you already came across our platform in the past, then you could see that the platform is slightly different, or maybe even more than slightly different. Then we will be also talking about you and what the platform can bring you as being a user. Then in case that there will be some issues with login or with registration process, then we will also do some exercise in the chat where you will be able to tell me more about if you have some issues. And then we will jump directly into how to use the platform. And I'm always saying that learning is by doing. We will not be only talking about the theory, but we want to bring you into the practice. So there will be virtual tour where I will navigate you on how to use the platform effectively and quickly. And last but not least, of course, there will be a slot for you to ask any question in the real time. So you can also use the chat. Unfortunately, I will not be able to monitor it throughout the webinar, but then after the webinar, when we will also finish the question and answer, I will go through the chat. And in case that you had some questions, I will then be also sending the recording and the question and answers via the email. So in case that it's something more complex, more broad that we will be also discussing, then just write it in the chat and I will come back to it after our webinar and send it to you afterwards. So let's kick it off. So what is actually Capacity for Dev? Capacity for Dev is a DG International Partnerships online knowledge sharing platform. It was already launched in 2009, so we have quite a history behind us. It also has the leading position on a knowledge sharing in the field of external relations. So we actually have members from the most relaxed family, but also, for example, the experts on the field where people can actually exchange their lessons learned, they can launch the discussions, and this is making us to have a leading position on a knowledge sharing. We also are the community of development professionals, so being you. And we also migrated our platform in May 2023. So we actually went through the revamp of all of the functions, all of the features. We made surveys with our community during 2022 and 2023 to see what actually development professionals needs for their work. And actually, when you ask me what I am doing or what my colleagues are doing or what we do in general, also as a community, is that we connect, we collaborate, we exchange, and we do it worldwide. It means that we connect development professionals like you, we foster the collaboration among you, and we facilitate the exchange of expertise. And we do it around the world, as you could also hear from the diversity of not only background, but also the countries where most of the people are actually based in. So who can use Capacity for Dev? I am also receiving this question quite often because sometimes people think that Capacity for Dev is mainly for the EU institution people from a European Commission or something, but it's actually open to public. So Capacity for Dev is a public space where anybody can come and enjoy the benefits that the platform is offering. This means that we have on average 300 new members requests per month. I say the request because actually then each of the users, they need to go through validation through me being the community manager. So we are actually putting a lots of security measures. So you could also experience it, some of you inside this call, that the platform could write you, for example, that your account is pending registration or validation. It's because we are trying to eliminate, for example, the spamming attempts. We want to really make sure that that person has some kind of connection to the development professional world. and it needs to go through the validation. So on average, 300 new members actually register on our platform. And then who is actually our community? Well, also it's you who actually already spoke at the beginning of this webinar, but the people are coming from the EU institutions, which means from the RELEX family, so European External Action Service, European Commission, FPI, DG NEAR, DG INPA, and also others. Also from the governments, international organizations, NGO and civil society, academia, and last but not the least is also the private sector. So we have, for example, people on the field, the consultants, the experts, and all of these people, they can interact in the public, private, and restricted spaces. If you are not sure about these words, what means actually the private, restricted, or public, I will also mention it slightly later. But now, what is actually the added value for you as a development professional? So the added value is that from the point of the RELEX family, Capacity for Dev is the only collaborative platform where all of the European institutions and delegations can actually interact with equal access. Which means that, for example, from our experiences, EU delegations, they use, for example, Zoom, European Commission use, for example, Teams, and they cannot find a platform where they would be able to communicate together. And they can right now use Capacity for Dev, where they can, for example, exchange the knowledge. They can also exchange, for example, different events and also messages, because one of our new function is actually chat. Capacity for Dev is also hosted within the EU institution in a secure IT environment, which means that Capacity for Dev is the European Commission platform. So you don't need to be worried about some security issues or where your data are stored, and everything is compiled by the European Commission. Capacity for Dev is community created platform. So it means that 80% of the content is created by you, by the users or the group owners and administrators and projects and resources. And it means that you can really see the variety of the different knowledges and expertise being shared there. We are also active on the social media. This is mainly the added value for you, that if you are, for example, inside the project which is EU funded, and you are looking for the space where to actually host the information around your project, you can do it on Capacity for Dev. And then our editorial team, mainly the communication officer, can actually highlight your project on our social media platforms, being it X, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Just I hear that somebody is not muted, so I will just mute that person, and we can continue. Also, one of the added values is the multilingual website, which is not yet there because we are still working on it. However, in the near future, we will have actually Capacity for Dev in 3 languages. And it means also in French and Spanish, despite being it now in English. So you can also get more into the multilingual benefit in the near future. Also, right now, there are some groups that are only in, for example, French or Spanish. So if you have your audience mainly in some language, for example, also can it be in German or in Czech or in other language, you can also open your group only in that language. However, what it would mean, the multilingual website, it means the static pages and the functions will be actually translated. So even though you will open now a group in German, still it will say the same structure will still be only in English right now, but it's possible also now. So what features are available on Capacity for Dev platform? These are the main features. It's groups, projects, resources, and articles. Groups is the dedicated space for collaboration and interactivity. Usually, if you want to actually become the owner or administrator of the group, you usually are becoming a smaller community manager. So let's say that you will be then managing your group of people. Inside that group, it can be in public, restricted, or private, and you will be validating what people are actually publishing inside your group regarding the different topic, being it, for example, climate dialogue. And you will be also moderating it a bit. So you will accept the members if you want it to be more like fluent, that you don't want to dedicate the capacity with accepting. You can also make it without the moderation. However, there are different functions within this feature, and you would be becoming a small community manager. For you as a user who doesn't want to become owner or administrator, this is actually the opportunity to become a member and to, for example, provide a feedback on different topics that are discussed on the
Marie,
platform.
I'm
Yes.
very sorry to interrupt you, but I think you stopped screen sharing a little while ago.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
Okay. Just a second. Thank you for noticing, because this is quite important to make it. I just hear somebody is not muted at the same time. Yeah, now it's okay. So if you can keep yourself muted, I think that I'm now sharing the screen. Let me know again if there are some more technical issues, because indeed I don't. I see Mohammed just raised his hand.
Hello everyone. I've just joined you, so the meeting. Sorry for the delay, by the way. It's because of a technical problem.
Don't worry. Just enjoy the rest of the presentation. It will be recorded, so you will be able to also see it from the beginning. So just and then we will have question and answer at the end. So thank you for coming, even though it's late.
Yeah, this is my first experience with you here. So
All right. Thank you. And if you can keep yourself muted so that it will not distract the audio. Yes, these are the main features. Now you can actually see it on the screen. I was talking about the groups and what is the added value for the group owners and administrators, but also for you as being the user, this is the opportunity to actually join the group and, for example, provide the feedback on the different topics, such as, for example, the climate dialogue or anything else that is in your topic of interest or geographical area of interest. Then the second one is projects. So the feature of the project is mainly that it's something like external website. So let's say that you want to open or create a project if you don't have necessarily a lot of skills with, for example, website building, and you want to have a static page where you will be sharing and showcasing what is your project about. It's not interactive, it's not collaborative. However, it's very useful, for example, for the EU-funded projects which want to introduce what is their project about, what they are trying to achieve, what are the objectives and goals, etc. It also works well as a bridge. For example, if you already have your website, when you want to make something like marketing funnel. So because Capacity for Dev has a lot of visitors and a big community, so then it can help you to actually get the traffic on the website as such. It's also free and lasting. What I mean is that sometimes the web building and all of the hostings, etc., is quite expensive. However, on Capacity for Dev, it's for free and also lasting. It means that for the project, we have different kind of labels. So you can either have it not started yet, ongoing, or completed. So let's say that your EU-funded project is for 4 years. And then after the 4 years in 2028, you will just finish. So, but you don't want to actually delete all of the information, right, about your project. So then you can just label it as completed, and people will still see what you have achieved and what you have done. The third feature is new since our migration, and it's a resource. It's usually a horizontal resource, which is providing a methodology. It's really different from project and groups. And we also have on our platform in help and support, which I will show you slightly later, a conditions that the new resource needs to meet, because it's something that a capacity need to be dedicated to. And it's similar to, for example, Team Europe initiative or results and indicators. And the last but not least is the articles, which are developed by our editorial team with collaboration with the units or experts on the field, where you can find the best practices and lessons learned from the from the development professionals. So these are the four main features. And here is a small diagram about how does it work and what actually you want to open if you want to become the owner or the administrator and the main contributor to our community. So if you are seeking the interactions with the members, then it should be the group. If you want to just share the knowledge publicly, it should be the project. And if you want to share horizontal non-thematic resource, it should be then the resource, which is always public, together with the project. I will be also sending after this PowerPoint presentation, so you will be able to navigate this diagram also later on. And now let me just launch a bit of the poll. So I have actually two questions for you. So first one is, how do you plan to use Capacity for Dev? You can also select more options. So the first is networking with professionals. Second is the sharing knowledge and resources. The third is learning from existing content and contributing to discussions and content. And the last is seeking the partnership for the project. So I guess that now you should see the poll, if I am not mistaken, on your screen. Just, yes, you are nodding. That's great. So I see that the most people are looking for learning from existing content. Then the second one is sharing the knowledge and resources. And so now you can also see the results. It's actually our first time we are using the Pulse, so it's great that we can pilot it with you like this, and we can also learn more about our community and how to navigate the development of the different features. And my second question is, are you planning to open a space on Capacity for Dev? So far we really touched the basics of the group, project, and resource. Or you might also have no plans as of now, or you just want to be a member who is actually learning from the existing resource. I see Anastasia, you raised your hand.
Yes, I would like to know what exactly is the goal of creating the group. So let's say we created the group. For example, my topic is energy transition and stakeholder analysis of stakeholders in energy transition. And I created the group. And what is the point to create the group? Thank you.
That's a really great question. So actually the group is where you can, for example, let's say that you have the email list of your stakeholders and you would like to interact with them in more collaborative manner. So not only one way of sharing with them the emails or the newsletter, but you would like to, for example, collaborate with them on the different topics in the case of the energy transition. So you would create a group which would be focusing on that exact topic. You would be also able to tag that group. So like by, for example, energy, or we can then take a look on the different topics on our platform. And you will be able to launch the discussions. You will be able to provide them more information about what you are doing, and also share the resources, for example, the PowerPoint presentations or the PDF documents etc. So it's actually the collaborative platform where you can have with them more two-way approach than the one-way, for example, via the emails as we are usually used to. And also great function, which I will now jump into directly, is that if you already have the capacity for dev profile, so all of you are actually already registered on our platform because you have received the invitation. However, at the beginning, during your registration, you should select the different topics of your interest and also countries. And when you log in on our platform, you will see this main homepage. We call it personalized feed, which is actually providing you suggestions about the different groups, projects, and resources, or even discussions and members that have the similar interest of yours. So let's say that you work in the energy transition and you established your profile around exactly these topics, and then you can see in the personalized feed the different content on our platform, which is targeted towards you with this exact topic. And the same is also for the people. So if there is somebody with the similar interest as you are with the energy transition, they will actually get your content that you have marked with this similar topic on their personalized feed, and they can actually follow you, or they can follow the content on the platform, etc. So I hope that this answered your question in a nutshell. But now let's take a look more in depth in the personalized feed. So usually here you have a featured article from our editorial team. This time is about young women professionals in the EU infrastructure, which you can read. We also recently initiated podcast. So you can also dive deep into, for example, the podcasting. If you like to listen to something when you are on your commute, etc., you can do so by listening to different development professionals on our podcast. Here you also have who you are following. So it's something similar to LinkedIn. So you can actually follow the people, and then you will receive also the updates regarding what they published on our platform, or what they're interested in. You also can gain the followers. So people can actually follow you if they're interested in what you are doing. And here is suggestions. So it will usually give you the suggestions based on your topics and countries, because this is how our algorithm works, and you can become the network with them. Then you also have the group suggested for you that you can request membership to. You can bookmark them, like them, or share them on the email. Now here is just the email function because I'm not member yet. But then you can also share it on the social media. Also then the project suggested for you, and other content. When you scroll down, you can explore. The main navigation bar here is this blue bar, where you can actually go either to home, so your personalized feed, and the second one is the topics that I mentioned so many times. And this is where you can actually search for the exact content that you are interested as a development professional. So when the topics open, you will see the list of the topics and the subtopics. So here you can see, for example, agriculture and rural development. However, when you open it, there is a bigger, more narrow search of the different subtopics. It's also worth to mention that we are currently revising these subtopics, so they might slightly change in the near future. We are revising them with the units inside the European Commission, because the topics are mainly based on the DG INPA topics, how it works, etc. However, we know that development professionals are very familiar with the SDGs. So usually, if you are working in the field, what SDGs you are tackling. So you can also use the search and the filters based on the SDGs. So how does it work? So let's, for example, go to climate change and disaster risk. And when you click on it, you will get the overview of the whole topic. So here you will find what are the subtopics, what is the latest article regarding that exact topic, and also what is the events, discussions, and you can participate as a member regarding these different information. You can also find here the other groups, projects, discussions, or even members who are interested in this topic. Also, a very interesting search is via countries, which is next to the topics. And here we have an interactive map. So let's say that you are, for example, interested in, for example, Poland. And here you will receive the results, for example, how many groups are open for this exact groups, or how many projects are open, how many discussions, or how many members are actually associated to this exact country based on their profiles. Then next to the countries, you have articles. Here you can find all of the articles of our editorial team, but also something more about our recent program being ambassadors. Because we are currently more working on the networking aspect and activating our community. So you can also get excited about, for example, our new initiative, which will come in upcoming months, which is Community Coffee, where we will be, for example, sharing the different initiatives as the members, etc. However, this community coffee will be opened only for the space managers. So for the owners and administrators of groups, projects, and resource. And then you will be able to more navigate what we will be preparing for you in the near future, such as, for example, the different events, etc. But then as a member, you can always actually participate in the final outcome of the community coffees, which will come in the near future. However, now we have ambassadors program. We have around 30 dedicated members of our community who actually are helping us with spreading around the word, the idea of capacity for deaf, and how we are helping to the development professionals. So you can more learn about them also here. And you can also here find the podcast series if you want to listen to them on the different channels. Then here is the resources. So these are the official resources. So such as the Team Europe initiative, results and indicators, etc., that you can learn more about by clicking on them and searching more what actually is in your interest, because they are quite complex. However, as I said before, the resources currently are also open to public. So you can actually create your own resource if you have some methodology or some non-thematic horizontal approach that you would like to open on our platform. And it's with this button, create a resource, on the top right corner. And here you will just submit the mandatory fields. So the name of the resource, the resource type, so it can be other or results and indicators, etc. Summary, the description, and then you just upload the banner, thumbnail, and you choose the message to the site admin, which is to me, and one EU official, who will be then elaborating if this exact resource should be validated, if it will bring added value to our community. And then when we approve it, you will receive a message, and your resource will actually become a draft where you will be able to work on it, and then you can create your own resource. Why did I actually show you this? Is because the same is for the groups and projects. So when you click here on the browse content, you have to hover over it. And here on the top right corner, you can actually create your group, and it's really similar mandatory fields and the same validation process. The same is in project in this case. Here, if you want to, for example, find the group of your interest, let's say deforestation or something, you can use the filters, and then you can go to the different groups. So you click on the group, and you can request the membership. Currently, I also see this button, manage group, because I'm using my admin account to show you all of the functions in broad. So usually you would not have this button here if you are not owner or administrator. You would just have the request membership, and then you would have access to the whole group, where you can actually, for example, participate in the discussions, etc. Here in this case, you can also see the owners and administrators who you can contact in case you have some more questions. So for example, let's say that I would like to contact Ines, and if she actually gave us the approval that people can contact her on our platform, you would have here the contact button. In this case, I can only follow her. So let's try with I just clicked on her again, but let's try with other administrators if we can actually contact, for example, here, Leonie. So if I click on contact, I can actually chat with Leonie and ask her any question that I might have regarding the exact group. This is very powerful networking tool because you can also, when you hover over browse content and you navigate to the members, you can see the global overview of all of the members on our platform. And here you can, for example, look for the people with the similar topics of interest. So let's say that I work in a biodiversity and ecosystem. So I select this exact topic of interest, and I can see all of the people and from which organization they are coming, what they're up for. You can also click on their profile, which is also something like LinkedIn, where people can actually write some bio about themselves and put the profile picture. However, this person doesn't have it. He has only really basic information. But some people, they might have much more advanced information, which I really recommend because it also gives you more credibility on our platform. You can also give links, for example, to LinkedIn, etc. So, for example, here you can see my bio on my profile, and how actually I get here. So like how to, for example, modify your profile. It's very easy. You just see here, you click on your profile, and when you click on my profile, you will get into your own profile. The second is notification. It's, for example, notifications about your spaces, what is going on with your community or with your connections. So it's same as on social media. And also you can see your groups. However, now we are interested in my profile, where you also have your own navigation bar, where you can, for example, see the groups that you are owner or administrator of. You can also see the spaces you follow or are member of. So here are all of the groups that you are member. Then you can see all of your discussions. So, for example, when I don't know, when, for example, I launched a discussion 1 year ago, I can actually find it here in this navigation bar. I can see my discussions that I launched, but I can also put the filter on discussions I commented on. So this is also very interesting filter. Then you can follow the different content, which is here. So I, for example, follow, let's say, Global Climate Change Alliance. So here I can either unfollow it or I can bookmark it, like it, etc. Then my library, which is the resource repository. So you can upload the presentations, PDF documents, etc. Then, of course, the bookmarks, something that I would like to read in the future. My network. So here you can find who you follow, etc. Messages is the chat, So here you can find what is the chat about and how you can navigate it. Here you can also mark as a spam. So if somebody is, for example, spamming you, then you can click on the three dots and mark as a spam. You can also look for the different people here or launch a conversation by this bubble. And then we have also the statistics where you can see how many discussions you have made, how many events you have created, etc. If you want to modify your bio and your profile, you simply click here on your settings. And the last but not least, and very important, is how to be active on our platform. And it is with this button, post content. So when you click on it, here you can choose what content you actually want to post on the platform. So should it be the library item? So for example, the document, the photo, video, or should it be the discussion, event, news? So it's actually the global function, and I will show you why. So for example, let's say I want to start a discussion, and immediately I receive a sidebar where to post. This is mainly because some members they are usually interested in one topic, which is really broad, and they are part of many different groups. And then they would like to launch the discussion in the different groups and gather the feedback from the users from the different fields and from the different corners of the topic. So let's say that I want to launch the discussion in more than one group, and I click then on next. And then you will just get the mandatory fields here, the details about the discussion. So you will put the type of the discussion, the title, the body, and you will just follow the instruction, and you can immediately post a content on our platform. So I think that I actually was speaking a bit too much for now, and it was a bit comprehensive description of our platform. So now I would like to give floor to you to ask any question that you might have about capacity for deaf. So if you have any question, then just unmute yourself and ask. I see Abedin.
Yes, while you were speaking, I was also trying to follow you directly in on your website directly. And my question was, but I think I discovered the answer just for your confirmation. It's not possible just to follow a country. You have to go in the map to the country, and then you dig, and then you see the different groups of discussions that you will be interested to follow, right? This is the best way to do. You can just not follow in general one country.
This is a very good question, actually, and I never received this question. So, like, let's say, for example, that you would like to know what is going on with, let's say, the Ukraine, so that you would be able to follow one country. Let me just share my screen and let's take a look if it's possible. But I think it's not, because I never received this question. But in case it's not, we can also dig deeper into to actually submit it to our business coordinator, who can then take a look if it would be something beneficial for our community. Indeed, when I go, for example, to Albania, I don't have the opportunity to follow it. So I don't think so, but I will dig deeper into it with the business coordinator if it is something that we ever were thinking about. So thank you for it. I will follow up after. I see that other people have raised hand. Susan.
Hello. Yes, I want to find out if you have a section that provides opportunities to attend training and conferences to promote knowledge sharing.
Yes, this is also a really good question, because we have actually a section on our platform exactly dedicated to this. So here, when you hover over the browse content, and next to the members, there is events. So this is the global gateway to actually all of the events published on our platform, where you can also be part of these events. So here, for example, you want to take a look on the United Nations Environmental Assembly, and you can read more information about it. What is it about? If you are actually eligible, because it's our community who is publishing these events on our platform. So there might be also some restrictions to the different people who might be, for example, attending. But you can definitely explore it more in depth here in this section with the filters, the date, etc. And it's a very powerful tool that can help you to, for example, navigate or even invite the development professionals to your event. So thank you for this question. And then there is somebody else having raised the hand, but I see it as unknown user. I don't know if.
Hi, it's me, Graciela. I'm from the Brazilian Association of NGOs. Thank you very, very much for your presentation, Marie. My question will be if there is a direct connection between capacity for dev and the OPSIS platform for monitoring projects.
Can you please repeat your question?
If there's any connection between capacity for dev and OPSIS platform from the European Union.
Yes, there is actually. We don't ourselves manage the OPSIS. However, it's actually hosted on our platform. So when you write into the search bar OPSIS and you click on it, you actually will find that there are many resources actually stored if, of course, you are a member. So you need to request a membership for it. There are almost 800 members which are interested in OPSIS, and also there are many discussions and the library items. So definitely something also worth to explore, and you can find more in-depth also information about the OPSIS here on Capacity for Dev. So I see that also some people were quite active in the chat. I will go through it after the webinar, but I would also use this opportunity to ask some more questions in this call. So the first one, after when we did this virtual tour, which features of Capacity for Dev do you find most valuable after this presentation? So is it, for example, the discussion and the interactive aspect, or is it the libraries that you can, for example, share the different documents with your peers, with your colleagues, etc.? Or is it the updates on the development work being done from the EU funded projects? Or it can also be the networking opportunities. So if you would, of course, like there might be more than one answer to this, but I would like you to pick only one. And I see that Anastasia, you raise your hand.
Yes, because I saw that there are training and learning resources. So about learning resources, we definitely received the answer, I guess. But I missed a bit the information about training resources. So if you would be kind to share about that. Thank you.
This is good question, because actually Capacity for Dev is part of the bigger contract inside the European Commission. And even though Capacity for Dev doesn't secure the trainings or learning resources, it's part of this contract. So actually Capacity for Dev is then used as a repository for the trainings for the RELEX family, for the DG International Partnership, for example. And it's also why we have a lots of traffic from the European institution, from the RELEX community. So this is mainly the point. If you are, for example, coming from these trainings to Capacity for Dev, and you are more interested in the facilitation of the trainings. So it was more navigated this direction, but thank you, because next time I will more clarify it as well.
Thank you.
I see that So we have the training, then resource libraries, also the discussions. And I see that Mohammed, you have a raised hand.
Yeah. Hello all. I'm Mohammed RG. I'm from Morocco. And my question here towards this virtual meeting is that would there be a possibility to benefit from such training sessions here on the platform? I mean, which could, I know, she could consider it as an added value to my to my professional performance and so on. And another thing is that though I'm a member here on the platform, I mean I'm not quite familiar with it, wholly. That's why. So yeah.
Thank you very much for the questions. So I will be also sending you the recording of this webinar and also like some more information about capacity for dev. I will also now share the useful links in the chat where you can actually so like the link to capacity for dev just in the case. Also we have a tutorials on YouTube. So in case that you're looking for how to, I'm usually creating tutorials on this YouTube channel that I just shared in the chat. And if you have any other questions, so you can also reach out to us on support@capacityfordev.eu. So these are the main resources. Regarding the training, it's not really in our hands because the content is created by the community, and even though it's part of the contract, it's not really in our power to actually secure the trainings. But usually, when there are some public trainings, public events, you will always find it in the navigation bar in the events, where you can then participate in these trainings or in these events. And we will work hard this year mainly to activate the community and to make it more active from the point of the events on our platform. I see Charlotte, you have raised hand.
Yes, I have a question. If we are to create, for example, a project, are we able to then access analytics about who is visiting, the site traffic, for example, and whether people are downloading documents from there?
Yes, exactly. This is also a very good question. So if you are owner or administrator, you will have actually the availability to take a look in the statistics because this is usually like how I'm really into like that you should do decisions based on data, not based on the opinions. So definitely, like for example, we can take a look here in this group. And if you would be owner or administrator, you would have here access to the navigation bar about view member statistics or view the content statistics. We are also able to retrieve some more data, for example, about the bounce rate, etc. if you need for the reporting purposes. So then we can also secure some more advanced from our system, but this is mainly based on the request. But the basic statistics about the members and the content is available in the navigation bar.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you. And all right, I see. I also like launched some more polls, so while also speaking about how frequently do you want to plan to visit Capacity for Dev. So thank you very much for participating. And my last question is, how likely would you recommend Capacity for Dev to your peer or the colleague after this discovery of what the platform is? If, for example, it would be something useful for your unit, for your department, for your work, where you would like to, for example, collaborate with them on the different issues and the different topics. So you can rate from 1 to 5 about how you feel about it to actually recommend it. And I see, Mohammed, you raised your hand again.
Yeah. So as far as I see the capacity for development, I mean, it would be a good way to expand, such a kind of social networking, between the, whether between the experts or even the members here on the platform. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to to win that.
Thank you very much for this feedback. It's always nice to hear, and this is also why we launched with you today for the first time the Pulse. I see a big potential in this to actually then what I also said before regarding the statistics and data to actually navigate our platform based on the data what our community wants. And you can definitely get excited about more of these new initiatives throughout this year, and also some more activities. So I hope that this answered most of your questions, but I'm sure that I will still see you either on the platform or we will have some more email exchanges. You have the email in the chat, the support@capacityfordev.eu. If you have any question after this webinar, don't hesitate to actually reach out, and we will do our best to answer your other questions. And I will send you the PowerPoint presentation, the recordings and question and answers after this webinar. So thank you so much. It was really nice to meeting you, and I hope that we will still stay connected even in the future, either on Capacity for Dev or on other social media. So have a nice rest of the day. I wanted to say have a nice rest of the afternoon, but I actually don't want to say that because you are really coming from the different countries. So have a nice rest of your day wherever you are, and I will see you in the near future. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Take
Bye-bye.
care of yourselves, guys.
Bye.